I hate bullies as much as the next person, right? I mean, who wants to see some jerk that preys on people's insecurities, insults their appearance, makes them feel ashamed for their interests, and even gets physically violent with them? Everyone has had some sort of encounter with a person like this at least once in their lives, so I mean, we can all agree that bullies suck, right? Unless they're a cute anime waifu. Ijiranaide Nagatoro-San, or Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro, is a web manga series written and illustrated by Nanashi. You know, Nanashi, the completely wholesome mangaka who has never made anything depraved or disgusting or vomit-inducing ever. Anyway, the series also has an anime, which I'm sure y'all know about. The second season is currently airing, and it's looking to be more of the same stuff we saw in season 1, which hopefully means more of this. They should sell that cat costume as like a plushie or something. I would buy it. Now, the Nagatoro series has had an interesting reception in the community since the anime aired. A lot of people wrote it off as just another trashy rom-com, which is fair. People said it was very cookie cutter with its soft as Charmin protagonist, which is fair. And a lot of people disliked Nagatoro herself because, well, which is also fair. I mean, wouldn't you be heated if some Japanese schoolgirl called you a virgin while looking like a hyena from The Lion King? So because of all that, I think it's fair to say that the Nagatoro anime has had a very mixed reception, yeah? But I think all the discourse and problematic Twitter takes and weird fan art is really distracting people from what is actually one of the sweetest, most wholesome rom-coms of the past few years. That's why today we're gonna be talking about the manga, not the anime. Because reading the manga gives you an experience that I feel like most people wouldn't expect to have if you just go off the premise of the show and that impression you get from the first few episodes. Oh, and note there's gonna be spoilers for the manga ahead, so if you're anime only or aren't caught up, now is probably a good time to switch to a different video. Like maybe this one, where I say mean things about Chainsaw Man. Or this one, where I say mean things about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Or this one, where I say nice things about Bocchi the Rock because it's better than all of these dogshit anime combined. Or I mean, if you don't care about spoilers, you could just watch the rest of the video anyway for, I don't know, my winning personality. So let's talk about Nagatoro first, yeah? The Nagatoro. The titular character, the namesake of the anime. Hayase Jameson Nagatoro Smith III herself. Our girl Nagatoro is part of the holy trinity of modern teasing anime heroines. You know, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Takagi, Uzaki, and Nagatoro. I don't know which one corresponds to which. You just gotta make those connections yourself, I guess. So the controversy around this series really revolves around Nagatoro herself, because, I mean, to be frank, she's a huge asshole that nobody in real life would want to hang out with. But luckily, this isn't real life. This is a wish fulfillment borderline fetish manga. Thank God, right? Hayase Nagatoro evokes a potentially traumatizing image of the classic school bully. I could totally see how someone could watch her picking on her senpai and having that uncover long repressed memories of how Stacy used to make fun of your AC/DC t-shirt in 7th grade biology. Now, I'm gonna be real with y'all, I've never been bullied in my life, which some people have told me means that I was the bully, but I guess that's something to unpack another time. But because I never had that experience growing up, I gotta admit that seeing bullying scenes in movies or TV was never really an, oh, I can relate type of feeling for me. So maybe I'm not the best person to be commenting on this, but when I was reading the manga and watching the anime, Nagatoro's teasing antics came across as more charming to me. And yeah, that could say more about me, but you know, I do like a lot of toxic anime characters, but hey, once again, we'll unpack that another time. I think the important thing to note about our girl Hayase compared to the rest of the toxic trinity is that she tends to take L's as often as she gives them out. On the other hand, a character like Takagi is usually in control of the situation and is rarely flustered unless some really wholesome shit happens. Granted, she's also a lot nicer than Nagatoro, but you know, who's keeping score, right? So while Nagatoro can be a huge piece of shit, she often gets a dose of karma that balances things out. For example, teasing her senpai about being an herbivore virgin but being just as flustered when the tables are turned on her. Some brilliant scientific minds have called this the glass cannon effect. Lots of firepower that's offset by being extremely fragile. To me, this is the key that makes Nagatoro endearing instead of endlessly insufferable. As long as the audience knows that Nagatoro is just as much of a goofy dweeb as her senpai, her teasing loses a lot of its sting and it becomes less, Jesus lady, leave this guy alone, and more, aw, slapping him with her noodle arms is her love language. Also note that this is a cartoon. Please don't actually slap your partner with your noodle arm in real life. It's a pretty trash thing to do. Also, if your arm moves like that, you should probably get it checked. As you read more and more of the series, you'll see Nagatoro somehow become more and more lovable after each chapter. It's kind of an insane phenomenon if you think about it. From chapter 1 to chapter like 108, she's still clowning on her senpai, and yet it feels oddly comforting and endearing. Is this what insanity feels like? Is it Stockholm syndrome? Maybe it's putting on your waifu goggles and blocking out reality? Personally, I think it's just writing a good character. So, Nagatoro's feelings for her senpai, who actually has a name, it's Naoto Hachiyuji. Yeah, did you know that? Believe it or not, this goofy-ass loser has the audacity to have a god-given name. But yeah, Nagatoro's feelings for Hachioji are made clear very early on in the story, right? Even if you're an anime only, I'm sure you have to have caught on to that by now. As you read on in the manga, the feelings between these two characters become more and more apparent as they are both unable to hide the way they feel. It's actually crazy the way this works out, because you expect a series like this to just be an endless back and forth with no progression, you know, contrived plot devices to reset the status quo, and mind-numbing rom-com shenanigans. But instead, we get reasonable development of the two lead characters' relationship. We get Hachioji sticking to his guns and showing some growth both personality-wise and physically when he almost beats this dude's ass. And we also get Nagatoro being less of a weirdo tsundere bully when the two make an agreement to kiss each other if Nagatoro can perform well at a judo event. There's no catch, there's no writing it off as, oh, this is just practice. They just agree to be honest with each other. Assuming Nagatoro can beat this girl's ass, which, you know, what healthy young couple hasn't made an agreement like that before? We even get the pair going on legitimately adorable dates where they're just straight up having a good time and enjoying each other's company. It's so wholesomely unexpected coming from the same series that has scenes like this. But that's sort of the point, right? Ijiranaide Nagatoro-San was never really a bullying series. I mean, the original version was quite literally a bullying fetish thing, but that's not what this is. What this manga is really about is thigh-high socks. Being stepped on. Well, all of that is true, but what it's really about is being honest with yourself. How sweet, right? Whether it's through artistic expression, trying your hardest to overcome a roadblock, or just doing some local superstition where you like walk towards a rock or whatever the fuck was happening in that arc. Honesty and communication are the keys to a successful relationship. Who would have thought that you'd be getting relationship advice buzzwords from an anime channel, right? Especially my anime channel. I've been divorced twice. So this video isn't really to sell you on starting the Nagatoro anime or manga. It's really meant for people who have already tried it but were turned off after, you know, a few chapters or a few episodes. I really recommend you give it another chance because it's just such a treat of a series. It's not like it's terribly original or crazy well written. It's just a good, wholesome series. And you know, I think it'd be a shame for some people to miss out on it because they think it's all gonna be shit like this. Yeah, that original webcomic was a nightmare. Oh yeah, one more point I want to make. We talked a lot about Nagatoro, but I want to stress the importance of the senpai character as well, you know, with Hachiyuji. Now, we all know that Hachiyuji is a spineless dude, right? He's nerdy, he's awkward and skinny. He's built like your average Weezer fan, I'd say. This is obviously important for the whole bullying dynamic to work, right? Because I mean, what other type of dude would put up with Nagatoro's bullshit? But what's important to note is that while Hachiyuji is a quivering mess of a human being, he's not inherently a doormat, right? He says he's been bullied his whole life, and the way he deals with it is just keeping his head down and shutting up, but inside he knows that he's being put through some bullshit, even when Nagatoro does it to him. This is the catalyst for his change throughout the series. There's a difference between being spineless, because you literally have no power in the situation, whether physically or socially, and just accepting this fact and letting it run your life. As you'll see, Hachiuji eventually grows a pair, like we all wanted him to do from the beginning, and he's able to tease Nagatoro back, set some future goals for himself, as well as stand up for himself and Nagatoro when push comes to shove. This shows that he really had it in him all along, and he just needed to let him out, which Nagatoro encourages him to do. Because I mean, it's not like he wanted to be bullied, right? Oh, he literally says he likes being bullied, never mind. My other points still stand though. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say about Ijiranaide Nagatoro-san. I hope y'all are enjoying season 2. I know I am. I hope you're enjoying the manga too. We're getting into some real spicy stuff this arc, and it's great. And you know, if you aren't enjoying the manga, I hope this video can convince you to give it another shot. Assuming I didn't spoil everything for you, ruining the experience. My bad if that happened. But yeah, otherwise, like and subscribe, leave a comment below talking about your favorite Nagatoro teasing moment, and that's the video. Peace.